Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina, and Tokyo, our Colombian cat. Now, Tokyo came to the United States of America from Colombia. He moved from Bogota, Colombia to Miami on Avianca, and then we rented an SUV and we drove from Miami to here. And Tokyo was a good kitty cat. He behaved himself. And apparently he wants to get down. So there he goes. But anyway, welcome to the live stream. I'm Diego. This is Karina, my beautiful wife from Venezuela. We went through the K1 visa process just like you guys. And Karina is waiting for her green card. Now, good news is after applying for her green card on February 29th, she got her work permit authorized. So it took 46 days. I got a cat fur all over me now. It took 46 days for Karina to get her work permit authorization. So now we're just waiting on that. So that's going to be in the mail probably in a couple of days. And Jay Hughes is the first person off the bat to say hi. Hi, so hi Diego. What's going on? Jay Hughes, what's going on in your neck of the woods? Where are you from? Do you live in America? Do you live in another country? Where are you at? So, Karina has got her work permit approved. We're just waiting on that to come in the mail, and then probably in a couple of months more to go, she will have her green card. Andrew Bryan, what's up, Diego? What's going on, Andrew? We're good. It's about 87 degrees here in the Panhandle of Florida. There's no clouds in the sky. It's hot outside. It's hot in here. I got all the lights on so you can see us. Got to have lights, right? So you can see us. And this is your K1 Visa channel. I answer all your K1 Visa questions for free. I answer all your green card questions for free. Your student visa questions, I know nothing about them. So don't ask me anything about student visas. Spousal visas, I can answer questions on, and also tourist visas. I've got 9 years experience doing this. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any immigration advice, legal advice. I don't do any of that. Okay. But I fix problems that some immigration attorneys are creating. Okay. But I'm not an immigration attorney, and I don't work for USCIS. I don't work for the State Department. Jay Hughes, I am from Ghana, and I got my K1 fiance visa approved. Well, guess what, Jay Hughes? You're going to get a Mountain Dew salute. Everybody gets a Mountain Dew salute when they get a visa approval. Mountain Dew salute, Jay Hughes in Ghana. KJB, hello, Diego. Can my fiance apply for a driver's permit after getting a social security number? Depends on the state you live in. In Florida, where we live, you cannot get a driver's license without a social security number and a green card. Okay? Got to have a social security number and or a green card to get a Florida driver's license. I don't know what state you live in, so you're probably going to have to contact the DMV and ask them. But I doubt it very much that you can get a driver's license without a green card. Let me see. Renes, Jay Hughes, did you pick up your passport yet from DHL? Good question. Jay Hughes, yes, I have. So Jay Hughes just picked up his passport. DHL is a courier service. Now, I recommend, guys, ladies and gentlemen, when you apply for your K1 visa, you use a courier service like FedEx or UPS or DHL. Send it to the lockbox in Louisville using a courier service. Don't use the postal system. Okay? Don't do it. Unless you want it to get lost. You know, it could get lost. You got to be able to track it. KJB, how long after the interview do we get calling in to pick up our passport? Well, that's a good question for Ren S. Caleb, hey Diego, the MVC emailed me yesterday and told me they sent our case to Juarez Embassy. Okay, Caleb, that's a Mountain Dew salute right there, because you're a step closer. The process is speeding up for you guys. Congratulations. That's good news to hear, Caleb. And KJB, how long after interview do we get to pick up the passport? That Ren S probably knows. Ren S said she got yesterday. Her fiance got his, and they booked a ticket, the plane ticket. Ren S. Diego, I booked my fiance flight for the 13th of May, United Airlines. Okay, United Airlines, a good airline. Said they will help my fiance if he misses his connection flight to Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Well, obviously they're going to say that. They always say that. Okay, but let's hope they follow through and they do it. Okay, I'm sure they will. Andrew Bryan, is it 4 months still to receive the green card? It's 4 to 5 months to get your green card from the day you get notified that they received it. Okay, either in Phoenix, Arizona, Chicago, Illinois, or Elgin, Illinois. Okay, that's where they go. Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego and Karina. What's going on, Francois? Francois is waiting for her NOA2 letter. Like, she got a little bit of an RFE to take care of, and she handled it like a champion. Now she's just waiting on her NOA2. Renes, but Diego, my fiance, didn't finish all the vaccine doses in Accra, Ghana. The hospital in Accra said he could get it done here in America, in Texas. That's correct. You don't need to get all your vaccinations done in your home country, but you got to have them for your green card. You will not get a green card unless you have completed all of your vaccinations. But you can enter the United States without having completed all your vaccinations, but you got to have them when you apply for the green card. And I strongly recommend you repeat the medical exam and get a brand new 693 signed by a civil surgeon in your country, in your state, with Texas, Florida, California, wherever it is you live, New York. Get a new medical exam done. Include it in the green card application. Ren S, my fiance, yeah, that's up. Ren S, don't worry about it. He can get his vaccinations done in Texas, but you got to get them done. Ro Figueroa, saludos Diego and Karina from Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, our case was sent back to USCIS after having our NOA2 approved, going back to zero. No, you're not going back to zero. I hope I don't have to wait too long. There's an error somewhere in your K1 visa package that they didn't catch at the service center, but they caught it at the MVC, okay? So sometimes that happens, and you told me in the past that an immigration attorney had done all your paperwork, and apparently that immigration attorney has totally messed up your package, so it went back to USCIS. They will look at it. If they need any paperwork from you, Ro, they will ask you for it in an RFE, okay? If USCIS cannot find any errors with the packet, the K1 visa application, they look it over again, they don't see any problems, USCIS will then send it back to the MVC, and you will start the process. Right now, you just got to be patient to find out what the error is. What was the problem? What happened? There's a paperwork problem somewhere. Ren S, within 2 to 3 days, business days, you will have your passport ready and sealed. As the doses of vaccine are scheduled months apart, Ren S, you can get the vaccines in Texas for your beneficiary. Tasha Lislin's World. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Ross. I just approved of my 765 today. That's a Mountain Dew salute, and look at that. I drank a bunch of this already, so hopefully I got enough for the live stream. Mountain Dew salute there for Tasha Lynn's World. Ren S, I didn't want to wait, plus airline prices are pricey. They're crazy. Francois Livingston, waiting and more waiting. You got to sleep. Francois, you got to sleep, okay? You got to relax. You got an RFE. That's what you got, an RFE. An RFE is not a denial. An RFE is, hey, Francois, we need a little bit more info from you. Can you send it to us so we can approve your K1 visa? So you sent it to him. Now you're waiting for him to look at it. That's all. So get some good rest, okay, Francois? Ren S, I was in a hurry to book his plane ticket. Well, you cannot be in a hurry to do this. So Ren S, you gave your beneficiary 1 hour and what, 40 minutes or 1 hour and a half, an hour and a half to land in an international gate, process through immigration, which could take an hour and a half, go to a border patrol visa interview for about 5 or 10 minutes, or could be 20 minutes. He's not going to make his connecting flight in an hour and a half. He won't do it. He can't do it. Okay. So United Airlines, you said, will help him. That's good. But you want to make sure that you have at least a 4 or 5 hour window of time between when you land at the international gate and when you fly domestic at the domestic terminal to your final destination. Karina and I, we flew from Bogota, Colombia. I flew with her. I accompanied her to Miami, Florida. All right. I rented a Jeep Cherokee, so I didn't have to mess around with the connecting flight. So I didn't care how long it would take for immigration to process Karina's Border Patrol entry. I didn't care how long it would take for the immigration line at the airport. There was 5 planes that landed from 5 different countries. There was 1,000 people at least, and there was like millions of suitcases going around and around. I didn't care because I had a rental car waiting for me. So when we got done with immigration, we just went to the rental car place and jumped, and the guy said, pick any one of these SUVs you want. So I picked a Jeep Cherokee, and then we drove here. It was a 10 or 11 hour drive. I would rather do that than be sweating the load over a connecting flight. That's a lot of money. It cost me, I think it was $150 to rent a Jeep Cherokee to drive from Miami to here. It would have cost me at least $1,000 for a one-way flight from Miami to Pensacola. So I went with the $150 and the 10-hour drive. Let me see here. So yeah, Ren S, just get his remaining vaccinations in Texas, but get them all done. Got to get them all done before you file for the green card. Ren S, there you go. Yaha Conte. Hi, Diego. What's going on? Yaha Conte. Dinian Hutchinson. How long will it take to get work permit and Social Security after they receive your package? Well, Karina got her Social Security number within 10 days. We got married on January 14th, and then January 15th, I think it was, we went down to the Social Security Administration, and she got her Social Security number in 10 days. It took 46 days to get her work permit. So it's a pretty quick turnaround for the Social Security card and for the work permit. Now, when Karina gets her work permit in her hand, we are going to drive back to the Social Security Administration, okay, and we're going to update her status to legal permanent residence. Right now, she's on an I-94, which is good for 90 days. Well, she's in status because we got married within 90 days. But we're going to update her Social Security status to legal permanent resident with a work permit. You can do it with the work permit. Let me see here. Ro Figueroa, I found out that the lawyer didn't include the intention to get married from my fiance. You got to have that letter. Looking at your videos, we went to Notaria in Cartagena, and we did one and notarized it. You didn't have to notarize it. That's good. So that, that's good. There's something wrong with your K-1 visa package. The National Visa Center found the error, and it happens sometimes, okay? And they send it back to USCIS. And USCIS will go, oh yeah, okay, I forgot, I didn't see that either. And then they will either fix it themselves, or they will send you a letter or an RFE explaining what you got to do. So try to relax, okay? Fad Doe. Hi, Diego. Do you know anything about Abu Dhabi? They haven't had available appointments for the past 2 months. They're a busy embassy. It's taken 2 to 4 months to get a visa interview in Abu Dhabi. Keep looking. You'll get one. You're going to get one. Ren S, my fiance was fussy. He didn't want extra stops. So that's why I booked a ticket that I had only one stop in Washington. Well, now he's going to pay the price because he's going to probably miss his connecting flight. And then United Airlines are going to have to scramble to figure out how to get him to Texas. It's all good. I mean, it's all good. Yaha, I have a question, Diego. Tengo una pregunta. Can I send my I-765 after sending my adjustment of status? Can you send your I-765 after sending your adjustment status? You can if you want. but it's better to include it together. Include them together in the same package. It's better to do it together, okay? But you can do it separately if you want. You just got to pay more money. If you do it separately, it costs more money for the 765. Ren S, all I can hope is that the airline keeps their word. Last year, I missed my connecting flight from the same airline, and they did put me on the next flight. Oh, I'm sure, Ren S, they're going to put your husband-to-be on the next flight to Texas. But when is the next flight? That's the question. If he misses the flight, if he doesn't make the connecting flight, he's going to either spend the night in Washington, okay, and then United Airlines will book him on a flight for the next day. But he's going to have to pay for his hotel and his lunch and his dinner and his breakfast, because it wasn't the airline's fault, okay? It was immigration is not a fast process. So you said the good thing he'll land in Washington at 6:35 in the morning, and if he misses the flight to Texas, the next flight goes out at 1 a.m., right? 1 a.m. I'm thinking is what you mean, right? In the morning, or 1 p.m. That's all good. Francois, Diego, how long did you say before we hear something? It's been 3 weeks. It's like three to 5 weeks. 3 to 5 weeks. So you should be hearing something any day. Not much longer, Francois. You're close. You're at the end here. Not much longer. Okay, you've got this. Jay Hughes, I booked my flight for August 15th. There you go. August 15th, May, June. That's 4 months away. Why 4 months? Why? Now remember, your K1 visa expires after 6 months from the date of the medical exam. So don't be waiting too long to leave Ghana. Okay, get out of there. A lot of things could happen in 4 months. There's a lot of stuff in the world that's going on right now politically that could happen. I would say get out of Ghana as soon as you can. Ren S, no flights that I had a one stop, had any layovers, but that were more than 2 hours, so that's why I got the ticket, plus the prices way beyond my budget. I got you. I understand. Ren S, congratulations to Jay Hughes. Francois, congratulations to Ren S. Caleb, should I get bank statement and letter from employer now for I-134? Already have the tax transcripts. Yeah, get that stuff. Get it done. You're right. That's correct. Ro Figueroa, look at that. Super chat from Ro Figueroa. Thank you, Diego and Karina. Ro Figueroa. Let me tell you something. Your attorney messed up your paperwork, okay, and so you fired your attorney, and now the MVC is finding some errors, okay. They had to send it back to USCIS, but try to be patient, try to relax. It's a paperwork drill. USCIS will look at the paperwork, and if USCIS says there's nothing wrong here, they will send it back to the MVC and tell the MVC to, send it on to the embassy. I think in Colombia for you, right? It happens sometimes. It happens. Just hang in there. You just got to wait out the process, but you need to be in touch with USCIS and send an email to USCIS with your receipt number from your NOA2 letter and ask them what's going on with your case. Maintain communication, okay? Let me see. Linda Gibbs, hi Diego and Karina. I have just wanted to know if you have checked on Nigeria appointment dates. It's been 4 months. They're taking like 6 months, and we haven't gotten an appointment. Did you find anything? Yeah, it's taking like 6 months. But if you get on that WhatsApp group, Denise Jefferson knows about a WhatsApp group for folks in Nigeria. If you join that group, everybody's taking a turn looking for an appointment. And then that way, the way Denise Jefferson explained it was she got her appointment real quick by becoming a member of that group. Ren S, yes, he will, unfortunately, but from Washington to Dallas-Fort Worth, the flight will be going to DFW throughout the day. Well, that's good. So no worries, Ren S, you got it. Ro Figueroa, is USCIS going to review my case as a new one waiting 4 to 6 months? No. Or it's going to be reviewed quicker than that. It's not going to be 4 to 6, 7 months, bro. Don't relax. NVC sent it back to USCIS. USCIS is going to look at it right away. They're not going to wait 6 months. It's already done being approved. They're going to look at it and find out what the problem is. If it's something that they can fix at USCIS, they will. Then they will send it back to the NVC. They'll send it back. But if it's something that you need to fix because you missed in some paperwork, they will send you an RFE, okay, and a letter saying, hey, you missed this or you missed that, okay? That's what's going to happen. Something happened. I don't know if it was the problem created by your attorney. I don't know. I mean, it could, but all you can do now is wait and find out from the USCIS. That's all you can do. But I wouldn't worry. It happens sometimes. So it was about 6 months ago. Somebody got their case sent from MVC back to USCIS. USCIS looked at it and said, what's the problem? There's nothing wrong with this case. And USCIS wrote a letter to MVC and said, this case is perfectly fine, and sent it back to the MVC. And then the MVC sent it on to the embassy, and the person is now in the United States. It just happens sometimes. It's not good that it happened to you. I'm sorry that it happened to you because it slows down the process. But it's not going to be a 6 months of waiting. You're not going back to square one. That ain't going to happen. USCIS is going to find out what the problem is from the MVC. You need to find out what the problem is from USCIS so you can fix it. Okay? Ren S, exactly, Diego. That's why I'm in a hurry to get my fiance here rather than wait 4 or 5 months. Yeah, why do you want to wait 4 or 5 months? You got a K1 visa in your passport? What do you got to wait? Why are you waiting all that time for? Yeah, Ren S, you got your flight scheduled, and Ren S is talking to Francois, but she wishes her well on her K1 also. Well, Francois is just waiting on her NOA2 letter. She just had to fix an RFE. That's all. I got confidence, total confidence in her RFE and how she corrected it. Okay, I'm fully on board. I don't see any problem. Ro Figueroa, something happened. His immigration attorney probably created this problem. I don't know for sure. I'm just assuming. But that needs to be fixed. That can be fixed easily at USCIS. Or Ro can fix it. USCIS could be asking Ro for, hey, I need this, or I need this. But it's not going to be a 6 or 7 month wait, okay? Ren S, in Accra, Ghana, anything can happen. Yeah, anything could happen. Who imagined that Russia would invade Ukraine? Who imagined that the government of Niger and Sudan would collapse? I mean, who can imagine the stuff that's going on in the world right now? I mean, who can imagine? You know, you got wars breaking out all over the place. If you got a K1 visa in your passport, the best place to be is right here in America. Get on a plane and get here. Don't wait 5 or 6 months or 4 months or 3 months. That's crazy. Whatever it is you got to do in your home country, you need to get it undone and get on a plane. Well, I got to go through this. I'm in the middle of school. I want to finish up my school. No, you don't. You can finish school here in America. If you got a K1 visa in your passport, whatever the excuse is, there's no excuse why you can't get on a plane and fly here. All right? Get here. Get here to the United States. Bud Garcia. Hello, Diego and Karina from Washington State. Bud, what's going on? Now, Bud Garcia, his prometida is in Thailand, close to Bangkok, right? North of Bangkok, but not quite in the city. And you're just waiting. She has her visa interview scheduled, and you're ready to roll. Francois Livingston, congratulations publicly, Karina, on receiving your work permit. Yes. So Karina gets a Mountain Dew salute from Francois, because Karina got her work permit authorized, approved. So that's for Karina. We're just waiting on the thing to get here in the mail. It shouldn't probably take about a few days. All the best to Jay Hughes from Ren S. Caleb, do you think we will get an interview date in June since the MVC sent the case to the embassy yesterday? June, I would say July. I wouldn't say June. I would say in July. And let me see here. Francois Livingston to Ren S, unique French name, and I am unique. There you go. Francois's got a French name. Now, Francois, she can speak all these different languages. Okay? I don't know how she did it. I mean, I got trouble with English sometimes, but I had to learn Spanish, and Karina's learning English. She's doing good. She's doing great. Her English is great. Francois is to Rennes. No worries about spelling my name correctly. It's all good. And Rennes says you have a unique name. Everybody on the channel is unique. Everybody, all of you, everybody, you're all unique individuals. Okay, and we're glad you're here, and I'm glad to be helping you. Jeff Draper, thanks for your vids. No problem, Jeff. Glad to be able to help you. Rennes, my name's Renee. And Linda Gibbs, do you know how I would join the WhatsApp group? Is there any name for the group? See, I don't know, Linda. Denise Jefferson knows all about the WhatsApp groups for Nigeria. And I mean, right now, Denise Jefferson, she got married. She's getting her green card paperwork together for her husband, helping him. So if she's ever on the live stream, she's the person that can help you, Linda, with the WhatsApp group. I mean, you could also Google WhatsApp group Nigeria K1 appointments, Google K1 visa appointments, WhatsApp. Somehow, Denise found it. I'm sure you can find it, but there's a group out there. Put the WhatsApp app on your telephone, on your iPhone or Android, whatever you got, your Galaxy, whatever you got. Put the WhatsApp app on your phone, and then start looking for Nigeria K1 visa groups. Ro Figueroa, at least the lawyer refunded the money because I told her all the mistakes she did. Well, at least you got your money back. So that's good. Guys, don't hire a lawyer for any visa or green card process. Instead, ask Diego. Well, you're going to get a Mountain Dew salute for that. And I'm so happy you got your money back from that incompetent attorney. I mean, seriously. She has inflicted a lot of damage on your K1 visa process, and hopefully we fixed a lot of it, but now we're trying to figure out what happened with the MVC. Once we know, I can help you with that, and it doesn't cost you a penny, and except for this, you gave us a super chat, so we got Mountain Dew. We can keep stocked up in Mountain Dew. Let me see. Rennes, if I can get the visa, so can you. That's right. Jay, thank you, Diego, for everything. No worries. Rennes, I got an RFE. Renee, she got an RFE also. Francois, I'll share something with you, Renee, on the live chat. I'm not from Africa, but I was born in Kumasi, Ghana. There you go. So Francois was born in Ghana, but she's American. Let me see here. Jeff Draper, man, I didn't see that super sticker, Jeff. Thank you. That's a Mountain Dew salute. I got a little bit of Mountain Dew left. Jeff Draper, thank you so much for that super sticker. Javo, great news, Karina, for your work permit. Buena noticia para ti. Diego, can you immediately start employment once your card is received? Sure, absolutely. Immediatamente. Or are there any requirements like Social Security card? Well, you got to have a Social Security number. When you go to apply for a job, you got your work permit. So how is the company going to create an IRS account for you? They got to have your Social Security number. So you got to have a Social Security number and the work permit, and then your green card. And when you get your work permit, go to, if you've got your Social Security number with your maiden name on it, and you want to change it to your married name, when you get the work permit, go back to the Social Security Administration, and then that way you can update your status with the Social Security folks and get a new Social Security card with your married name on it. But the Social Security number isn't going to change. The Social Security number stays the same, but your status will change with Social Security. Bud Garcia, I was wondering if you did an update video for Thailand. Not yet. I haven't, but I'll do one for you. I'm waiting on you. When you get done with your Thailand trip, send me all your information, and I will make you a personalized video, Bud Garcia, on your processing from NOA1 all the way to when you got the visa interview in Bangkok, Thailand. I'll do it for you. So let's wait for you, okay? Red S, interesting. I'm 25% Indian, and Orange wasn't born in India or ever been. Okay. Jeff Draper, is a 2+ hour layover at Miami enough time to bring my fiance the first time? Jeff in Knoxville, Tennessee. 2 hours is cutting it fine. Miami's a busy airport. Your beneficiary, if she's going to fly into Miami, she could be sitting for 20 minutes. First, she's going to be probably 45 minutes to an hour going through the immigration line, like behind 1,000 other people. Okay, and then she's going to check her passport with the Border Patrol. He's going to take it, and she's going to say, "I'm in a K-1 visa process. I got to do a Border Patrol interview," and then he'll say, "Okay, you got to go over to this office over here." Then she goes over to the office, and there could be a 20-minute wait. Well, Karina had to wait like 20 or 30 minutes for her turn because there's 2 other people in front of her. So that's what, an hour and a half right there. So that's going to leave what, 30 minutes, 20 minutes to get from the Border Patrol office, find her suitcase, and get to the domestic connecting flight. You want to leave yourself at least 4 hours of layover time. If you are coming to America on a green card, on a K-1 visa, you want to have at least 4 hours or to 5 hours of time from when you land to your connecting flight. So you got 4 hours of time to go through the immigration line, to go in front of the Border Patrol officer, to find your suitcase, and then get from international flights to domestic flights. You got to have at least 4 hours, okay? If not, if you miss your flight, if you miss the connecting flight, the airline isn't obligated to put you on the next flight. They're not obligated. They're not. Because it wasn't their fault that you missed the connecting flight. Let's suppose you land and you go through immigration, and then you go through the Border Patrol part of it, and then you get your suitcase, and you miss the flight. The airlines might say, well, you got to buy another plane ticket from here to your destination. You missed the flight. It wasn't our fault. Why did you miss the flight? Well, I had to go through immigration. I had to go through a K-1 visa Border Patrol interview. I had to go find my suitcase. And the airline's going to go, well, that's not my fault. That's your fault. Right? So I solved the problem by not making a connecting flight. I just flew to Miami and then rented an SUV and drove home. I could have gotten a connecting flight from Miami to Pensacola, but I didn't do it. I just rented an SUV. I put all the suitcases in the back of the SUV, the cat, and Karina's up front. Never been to America before. And she's like, man, I hope Diego knows how to drive. Right? No, she was confident. She enjoyed the trip. We drove from Miami. We went to Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, Jackson. We took the long way so she could see all of the east coast of Florida. So we took the long way. You know, we didn't go through Orlando. Orlando's full of toll bridges. Orlando is the land of toll bridges and toll roads. I guess Orange County in Florida is ran by Democrats because there's a toll bridge and a toll road every 20 freaking feet. You know, if you're driving in Orlando, you better make sure you got plenty of cash because you're going to be paying lots of tolls. It's insane. The only other country in the world that's got more toll roads and toll bridges in Florida is communist China. So anyway, we avoided all the toll crap, and Karina got to see Fort Lauderdale. She got to see Palm Beach, and she loved the trip. She was just chilling out, relaxed, and had a good vacation out of it. So you need at least a 4 hour layover, Jeff Draper. At least a 4 hour layover, okay? At least. K Messenger. Hola, Diego, felicidades de su permiso de trabajo. Gracias para pagar su impuesto. Sí, gracias. Gracias. Yeah, K Messenger said, congratulations to Karina for getting a work permit and for paying the impuesto to the government, paying the fees. Renee, appreciate your guidance, Diego. No problem. That's why we're here, right? This is your channel, guys. This is your YouTube channel. It's not mine. It's yours. I know how to do this. And most of you know how to do it too, but some things you don't know how to do. So I'm here to kind of help you get through the maze. I got 9 years of experience doing this. I know I can write a K-1 visa package in my freaking sleep. I can process a green card sleepwalking. I could do a green card like this. Renee S. In 17 months, I've learned a lot from you. So that's good. So you can help other people. If you know other people who have gone through this, tell them don't pay an immigration attorney. Show them how to do it. Francois Livingston, Diego, growing up, we had to learn 3 languages. No choice. Pretty soon I will learn Moroccan, and I cannot wait. Francois, I know 3 languages. I can speak English. I can speak Australian. I can speak English, England, and New Zealand. So that's 4, right? If I was in New Zealand, I can speak New Zealand. If I'm in Australia, I can speak Australian. If I go to England on vacation, which we're going to do, I can speak English there. And I can speak American, so I'm good. And Spanish. I got a lot to learn, though. I have got so much to learn. Spanish is such a... there's so many different words to learn. Bud Garcia, yes, she is, and I will be going on vacation in 2 weeks. Bud in dos semanas vacaciones in Thailandia, and I can't wait to go see my fiance, Bud Garcia, is muy emocionado. And Jeff, again, thank you, Jeff, for that. Jeff Draper for that super sticker. Now let's see. Kay Messenger, we have our wedding licenses. Need to wait for social security number. Getting married in 2 weeks. Boda en 2 semanas. I thank you for all of your help. We will be picking your brain on the green card. I'm here, Kay Messenger. When you don't mail in your green card application till you've asked me all of your questions, so you get it done correctly. We're here for you. Ren S, the more multicultural. Teresa Senor. Hey, Diego and Karina. Teresa, what's going on, Teresa? Francois, American, U.S., and so proud of since I was 13. 12 y 3 años, Francois aprende inglés. Renee S., and I think it is great to have a partner who comes from a much different background than I do. Yeah, Karina and I are from totally different backgrounds, but we like the same things. We like museums. We like different foods. We like cooking. Karina's got her kitchen. Karina's cocina. Karina's F en cocina. She's got her kitchen. She's making all kinds of good stuff. And we both like everything. We both like the same things. Okay? There's no language difficulty because I can speak Spanish and Karina's learning English. So, everything's rocking and roll. The most important thing before you become engaged is to become best friends. Mejor amiga, amigo primero. And necessarily your best friends first. Once you become best friends, then you become engaged, and then you become husband and wife. But you got to be best friends first. See?
No siempre.
Not siempre, pero a veces. So she said sometimes. Let me see. Ren S. adds a lot of creativity in our relationship. One eyes and mind open much quicker when they experience living and seeing another culture. I lived in Colombia for 2.5 years. I thought I was beginning to think I was Colombian. I was like talking Spanish, and I immersed myself into the culture of Colombia. Now, Karina handled all the transportation. She knew how to buy the bus tickets and the plane tickets. We went on vacation to Cucuta. We went on vacation to Cartagena. And so she was speaking. I'd rather she handled that so I don't mess stuff up, so we don't end up in Peru or somewhere like that. Excuse me. Caleb, I've been hearing that the embassy in Juarez will give the visa in 2 days when approved. So I was thinking of just waiting in Juarez after the interview. What do you think, Diego? I think that's a great idea. Save you a lot of time. It's probably cheaper to stay in Juarez than to be going back and forth from wherever it is your beneficiary lives in Mexico, right? Just stay in Juarez and wait for the visa. Bud Garcia, USCIS date received paperwork, NOA 1, 19 September 2022. NOA 2, 20th of October 2023. Went to the MVC the 28th of February 2024. MVC welcome letter was 12th of March 2024. Yeah, send all that to me, not on the live stream, because then I got to try to hunt it down on the live stream. but send it all to me, including the interview date for your embassy interview day, and then I'll put a video together for you, okay? Jeff Draper, we'll be together, so I guess I'll book Delta for a morning flight the following day. Thanks. Yeah, Jeff, that's the way you do it. Don't buy plane tickets until the K1 visa is in the passport, all right? You got that? Don't do that. And we just got, let me see what we got here. Aquarius. Look at that. Look at that super chat right there from Aquarius. Diego and Karina, I want to thank you. I was approved today. Aprovado hoy. Super chat salute to Aquarius. I was approved today. Sent it out February 6th. I thank you for every question you answered for me. Appreciate you so much. Didn't need a lawyer because of you guys. No abogado, no attorney, and you got your visa, you got everything done, everything approved. You get the maximum super chat. Now, let me see. Thank you, Aquarius. We are happy for you. Now, Karina's telling me I paged too far up here. Bud Garcia. Jeff Draper. It's always important to buy your plane tickets after the K1 visa's in the passport. Don't buy your K1 visa ticket. Don't buy your plane tickets a week before the visa interview. Because what if the embassy says, well, I need this and we need this. Look what happened with Karina. She got her K1 visa approved November 16th, 2023 in Bogota, but they threw a curveball at her and said we need an Interpol police certificate, which took 4 weeks. If I had bought the plane tickets before her visa interview, okay, I would have been calling the airline saying, I gotta change the flight. I gotta change it. Well, I'm sorry, Diego, we can't change this flight. You paid for a non-changeable flight. Right? Always, always, always. So when Karina got her K1 visa in her passport, and I looked at it, and I checked there was no spelling mistakes, that's when we went to El Dorado International Airport face-to-face, and we bought the plane tickets from Bogota to Miami. Let me see. K Messenger. Hello, Kayla. We got our K1 interview in Juarez last month. Took 6 days to get the visa and the passport. That was their experience. Okay. So look at about a week hanging out in Juarez, Ciudad for about a week after the visa interview. Okay. Kelwar, did you get your work permit in 46 days after biometrics or since you got receipt notice? Let me see. They received my application February 21st. I did the biometrics on May 1st. Let me look. I got the paperwork right here. Let me clear that up, okay? Let me see here. This is for Karina. That's the green card paperwork. This is for the Okay. So here's what happened. The commencement date started on March 22nd. March 5th, we received your work permit application. We sent you a receipt notice, and the commencement started March 22nd. So it wasn't when she applied for the green card. The work permit started. The commencement started on March 22nd, and you know what biometric KDA is. So that was the 22. March 20. This was your biometrics. So it started on the day of her biometrics. She had her biometrics on March 22nd in New Orleans, and it took 46 days to get a work permit from the date of the biometrics. Let me see here. Francois, do you know what the airline charged for missing a flight? Not only do you have to pay for a new ticket, but they charge people a no-show fee. I only had an hour layover, and I did miss my flight. Well, here's the thing. You want to at least make sure you got at least 4 hours of time between when you land in the America and your connecting flight. You want to have at least a 4 or 5 hour layover so you don't get hit with those fees. I remember I flew from Bogota, Colombia to Fort Lauderdale, and I had to go on, I think it was on Spirit Airlines, and I had to go through immigration. It took 2 hours for me as an American citizen to go through immigration in Fort Lauderdale. My flight was scheduled for 2 hours after I landed in Fort Lauderdale. So I was in Fort Lauderdale. It took me 2 hours to go through immigration. I finally made it. I ran then the domestic flight in Fort Lauderdale. I had to leave the terminal and go about I don't know 3/4 of a mile down the street outside with my suitcase. I'm walking down the street looking for the domestic flights. I finally found it, and the plane left. And I went to the check-in counter and said, "Hey, I'm sorry I'm late, but I was stuck in immigration." It took 2 hours just to clear immigration because there were so many different countries, so many planes landed from different countries. I was like 2 hours in line. And the lady said, "Well, I'm sorry, Diego, but you're going to have to buy another plane ticket to go from Fort Lauderdale to Pensacola." I said, "That's insane." So I had to put on my best happy face and I said, "Look, it wasn't my fault. For 20 minutes in between customers, I was just telling her I don't have it. I can't do it." I said, "I'm just going to sleep in front of your, right here. I'm going to sleep in front of your desk until I get another flight to Pensacola. It wasn't my fault." And the lady saw me put my bag down. I laid down, put my head on the bag. I said, "I'm just going to wait here until you book me on another flight to Pensacola. It wasn't my fault. It was immigration." And then the lady said, "Okay." She said, "Stand up." So I stood up. She goes, "Okay." She processed me for another plane ticket for free from Fort Lauderdale to Pensacola, which left at like 7 o'clock the next day. So I'm stuck in Fort Lauderdale International Airport for another 24 hours. Okay. And she said, "Well, you got to go get a hotel because you can't sleep in the airport." I said, "The heck I am. I'm sleeping in the freaking airport. It's not my fault. I didn't create that immigration line." Okay. So I ended up sleeping. I just slept at the airport. I sat in a chair in Fort Lauderdale, and then all the lights went down and all the stores closed and the cleaners came in with the vacuum. They're cleaning and vacuuming the carpets. And I'm sitting there. And then the security guy made a walkthrough, and he looked at me and I looked at him. I waved at him. He didn't say nothing to me. And then I stayed another 24 hours in Fort Lauderdale. When the restaurants opened at 4 o'clock in the morning, I got my breakfast. I ate a big breakfast, and then I flew to Pensacola. That is my experience, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, with missing a connecting flight. It sucks. Caleb, K Messenger, did you wait in Juarez or have them mail the visa to you somewhere? Good question. Francois, luckily I was vouched for by the airline manager and only paid $350 instead of $1,000. Well, you were still out $350, Francois, but it's better than $1,000. Oh, they tried to make me buy another one-way plane ticket, and I said no, I'm not doing that. And the lady from Spirit Airlines, she goes, "You're good. We're going to give you we'll write you a ticket." All right. So, but at first she wouldn't do it. It took me 20 minutes of negotiating. I felt like I was doing negotiating a freaking car deal. K Messenger, we had it mailed via DHL to that word right there I can't pronounce in Mexico. It was sent to the DHL office in that word again I can't pronounce. It was super easy. No worries. Great information from K Messenger. Fantastic information. Julian ALO. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Ross. How are you? We are good, Julian. Wanted to ask something about affidavit of support. The place that says sponsors household size, page 410. My wife has 2 kids before we have a new baby. Okay, well, I got it right here. The form is right here. The question is, what is your household size? Well, there's you, right? There's your wife, right? And her 2 kids. So the household size is 4. And we have a new baby. So that's 5. Your household size is 5. Okay? So what do? Let me go over it with you so you don't have to pay an immigration attorney $500 for this information. This is page 4 right here. Okay? So that's going to be you, right? That's going to be your wife because you're the beneficiary, right, Julian? You're the beneficiary. You're not the American. So your wife is the American. That's you going to be right there. Plus, right here, it's going to be yours. That's going to be you, right? That's the sponsor. This is the sponsor. This is your wife, okay? And then how many people How many people did she sponsor? Well, she sponsored you. So that's one, right? So that's one right there. One right there. And then underneath it, do you have any dependent children? That number goes here, the number of dependent children. And then you add up the total, and it's going to be 5 right here. So you're going to get some white out, right? You get some white out, and you're going to white out the 1. You're going to get rid of the 1, and you're going to turn it into a 5. But right here is going to be a 1. Right here is going to be a 1. 1 here, and then a 3 here. 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. 5 goes at the bottom. You got it? You got it. That's for the affidavit of support. And that is signed by the sponsor, the American citizen. So the place that says sponsors household size, page 4 of 10. My wife has 2 kids, right? You have a baby. There's her, and there's you. So that's number 5. 5 goes here at the bottom. Sorry, Karina. 5 goes at the bottom, okay? That's the total family size. Aquarius, again, thank you for that super chat. Thank you, Aquarius. Bud Garcia, where do I send it to, Diego? Where do you send what to? The green card application? Is that what you're asking me? Where you want to know where to send your green card application for your beautiful wife when she gets here? Is that the question? And you live in Washington State, right? Bud Garcia, tell me that's the question, and I'll give you the answer. Caleb, to K Messenger, how did you get the MRV receipt? I haven't heard of sending payment to USCIS for visa fee before. Priyanka, congratulations. Aquarius, did you apply for adjustment of status? Terrence Tambigo. I hope I didn't mess up your last name, Terrence. Hello, Mr. Diego. K Messenger, Caleb, can you please define MRV? That's the MERV receipt. That's the receipt for when you paid for the visa. Machine readable, that's correct. Caleb, I heard Diego mention it had that you need it at the interview. You got to bring the MERV receipt to the visa interview. You got to prove that you paid for the visa. They want to see the receipt. Let me see. Aquarius says thank you. The I-129F, right? So you got your I-1, you got your NOA too. Caleb, it proves you paid for the visa fee. I believe that's exactly correct. That's 100% correct. And Priyanka, congratulations to Aquarius. Francois, congratulations to Aquarius. Let the fun begin. Aquarius, thank you. Approved so fast. Totally. And you didn't have to spend a full grand on an attorney. Ro Figueroa, hi Diego. I don't find the email to contact USCIS about my case. Only a case inquiry that doesn't let me because I have to wait till December because the date of my NOA 1. Okay. You can always call USCIS and call them on the phone. But there is an email. You just got to know what service center your K1 visa commenced at. What service center? Don't worry about you can't contact USCIS until this day and this day. Don't worry about that because your visa already went to the MVC and then it went back to USCIS. You have a legitimate reason to contact USCIS. You have a legitimate reason to contact them. Okay? Don't worry about you can't do this and you can't do that. You can. Okay? You can. Cozy Moth, I filed in February 2024, and it's looking like some people are already getting approved. What happens if we get NOA2 approval before my fiance visits me, which will be next week? Will there be a problem? No. If you get the NOA2 letter before he comes to see you, it's all good. He still can come on vacation. Don't worry about it. Let me see. You're good. Julian ALO, thank you so much. Thank you very much. So Julian ALO, you understand the total family size for you is going to be 5. And you know exactly where to put that number, right? You know where to put it. Where did I put that, Doc? Where did I put all that paperwork? You know where to put it, right? That information. Cozy Moth, we still have a lot of paperwork like my joint sponsors tax info to get together. So we were still wanting to see each other for a month before he goes to his medical and interview. Nothing wrong with that. Bud Garcia, no, the information from anyone to interview date. Yeah, just send it. Don't send it to me here. I'm not. Send it to me on a video. Look for the last video I just made and send all the information to me on the last video I just made about the big age gap. Go in there and just write it all out for me, and then I will make a video for you. I'll make the video tomorrow for you. Caleb, Diego, can I pay the visa fee on the AIS US visa info website for the embassy in Juarez? I don't know. Every embassy is different. I went into the SIAC account and I was directed to go to the US Embassy in Bogota, and then I was directed to this link here where I paid for Karina's K1 visa. I don't know how it would work for Ciudad Juarez, but I mean it's got to be basically the same process, I'm sure. I can't answer that question. I would go into that account and see if you can do it. See if you can do it. All you need to do is see if they will let you pay it, okay? Julian, and what about to pay for adjustment of status? Write a check. What shall we write on the check? Okay, I'll write it down here. Julian ALO, this is what you write on the check. Look what I'm writing, okay? This is what you're going to write on the check. Right here. Okay? You make out the check to these people right here, no abbreviations. Okay? No abbreviations. Boom. That's who you make the check out to, U.S. Department of Homeland Security, for your green card. Do not abbreviate it. Write it out completely just like I wrote it. So write small if you don't have big checks. California Service Center, yeah. Call them, email them, find out what's going on with your case. Bro, you got to find out what the error is so you can fix it or they can fix it. Chris and Emil. Hi, Chris. What's going on? Chris and Emil. Francois Livingston, Ro Figueroa. When you call USCIS, after you listen to the prompt, say InfoPass. There you go. It will take you directly to an agent. I have done it in the past, and it works like a charm. Good info from Francois Livingston. Cozy Moth, thank you so much. No problem. Caleb. Also, does the Juarez Embassy schedule the biometrics appointment? I haven't seen sponsors or beneficiaries doing it in Mexico. It's always been the embassy that's done that. Okay, they schedule the interview and the biometrics, but you got to follow the directions on the email they sent you. Follow the directions that they sent you on how this process works. Okay. Bud Garcia, to be able to talk to a real person, all you have to do is say update information, and it will send you to a human. There you go. Let's see here. K Messenger. Caleb, I understand your question now. Yes, we paid the visa via the website. Apology for misunderstanding your original question. So K Messenger has answered Caleb's question. What was the website you mentioned for paying the visa fee, Diego? Sorry, I didn't hear. Go into that place where you were told to go. Right? K Messenger, tell them which website. It was on the Ciudad Juarez consulate. Right, it's on the consulate website. K Messenger, so after you pay, you must look at the calendar and find an open date for the biometrics. Okay, so you have to schedule the biometrics, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, if your beneficiary is in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. But I know that the embassy's been scheduling the interviews. Okay, so K Messenger has really provided a significant amount of information here on this live stream. A lot for folks in Mexico. Ross Lee, hello, Diego and Karina. Diego, we have biometrics tomorrow. Congratulations, biometrics. There you go. It's not so bad, right? This process, it's not so bad. I got all this paperwork here, guys. You know, every time I get a question, I'm ready to jump on it. And I got all the answers right in front of me. From how much money you got to make to what family sizes you got to have and how to fill out an I-129F and everything you need. and Rossley and Melissa, isn't it right? With Melissa, we have biometrics tomorrow. And biometrics is just the fingerprints and the photo. Now, let me explain the process between biometrics in your foreign country and the biometrics in America. When you apply for a K-1 visa, the sponsor or the beneficiary schedules the visa interview at the embassy and schedules the biometrics. I scheduled Karina's K-1 visa interview in Bogota at the embassy, and I scheduled her biometrics in Bogota. Karina scheduled the medical exam in person with the paperwork I gave her through email. When we applied for her green card, when Karina applied for her green card, okay, immigration set up the biometrics interview in New Orleans. They sent Karina a letter with a receipt number on the letter, which we used to check the status of her case. And they said, your biometrics interview is going to be in New Orleans at this address at this time on this day. So I said, great, we're going to plan a road trip to New Orleans. We live in Florida. So Karina got to experience driving through the rest of Florida, because she's already driven from Miami all the way up and across. Now she got to drive the rest of it. So we went to Alabama, and we stopped in Alabama. We went to Mississippi. We had a nice big breakfast in Diamond Head, Mississippi. We went to, and then we went from Mississippi to New Orleans in Louisiana, and we had great food, and she got to walk along Bourbon Street and check it out. And then we went to the biometrics, and then we came home. It was great. So Karina's been to 4 states already. She's been to Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. That's good. That's a good start, right? Chris and Emil, yes, how is it going with you? We're good. Priyanka, hello, Diego and Karina. Now, Priyanka, hey, Priyanka. Now, Priyanka's waiting on her green card. She lives in Alabama. She got married in Kansas, but she lives in Alabama. And what's interesting about Priyanka's case is that she lives in Alabama, just up the road, and she mailed her green card application to Phoenix, Arizona. We live just a bit south of her in Florida, and we mailed Karina's green card application to Chicago. Go figure, right? Caleb, thanks, K Messenger. So that you did everything on AIS. That's right. That's correct, Caleb. That's how you did it. Ross Lee, hello, Chris and Emil. Teresa Senior, hey Diego, how much for a family of 4 for adjustment of status? How much does it cost for a family of 4, or how much income? Teresa Senior, you're asking me this. How much for a family of 4 for adjustment of status? How much what? Are you applying for 4 green cards? Are you applying for 3 green cards? Are you applying for 1 green card? How many green cards are you applying for? 3, 2, 1, 4, I don't know. Or are you asking me what is the minimum income requirements for a family of 4? Give me the Teresa Senior. One. You're a family of, you're applying for 1 green card. 1 green card, right? And you want to know how much is it for 1 green card? Or are you asking me how much money do you have to make for a family of 4? So it's 1 green card. The price of 1 green card is $1,440. That's just for the green card and the biometrics. That doesn't include advanced parole, and it doesn't include a work permit. If you want a work permit, it's like $260 more, somewhere in there. And if you want advanced parole, it's another $630. But if you are applying just for the green card, it's $1,440. And you make the check out to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Okay, you got that? Is that, but if your question, Teresa, is how much income does a family of 4 have to make for a green card for a family of 4? The minimum income is $39,000. That's the basic on the line right here. That's the line, $39,000. If you make $39,000 or more, okay, if you make $39,000, $40,000, $41,000, $42,000, get a joint sponsor. If you make above, let's say, $39,000, $41,000, let's say you make above $45,000 a year, then you're good. But the minimum income requirement at 125% for a family of 4 is $39,000 minimum. If you only make $39,000, if you're right on the line, I'm sorry, Karina, you need to get a joint sponsor. I'm serious. Immigration, people have been applying for green cards, and they make like $1,000 above the minimum requirement. Immigration's been sending out letters saying we need a joint sponsor. So Teresa Senior, you got it? If you let's say you make about $45,000 a year or more, you don't need a joint sponsor. You're good. If you make $39,000 to $44,000 a year, you need to get a joint sponsor. So I'm glad I answered your question. So it's a good thing you're on this channel today, right? You get to learn all kinds of stuff. And hopefully, Julian ELO, I hope you understood the information about the family size on your affidavit of support. You're a family of 5. How much money does a family of 5 have to make? Minimum income, $45,725. So a family of 5, you really need to be making $50,000 a year or more in order to avoid an RFE for a joint sponsor. Tammy, just waiting to do medical next week because there wasn't any available appointments before the interview on April 30th. Okay, so Tammy, are you going to have your medical exam? Well, yeah. So you had your interview on April 30th, right? So now you're on a 221G medical hold. They're just waiting on your medical appointment, right, Tammy? That's correct, right? Let me see here. Marcel MP, hi Diego and Karina. How long after submitting the adjustment status was Karina scheduled for biometrics? Well, let's see. She applied for a green card on February 29th, 2024. And the question is, how long after submitting the adjustment of status was Karina scheduled for biometrics? 7 days. A week. It just took a week. 7 days. See? 7 days. It was 7. Huh? It was very fast. Karina said it was very fast. She applied for the green card, and then 5 days later we got a text message because we included a G1145 in the green card application. And then 2 days after that, she got a letter in the mail for her biometrics in New Orleans. So it was about a week. And Tammy, so yeah, you're waiting on so you passed your visa interview. You're just waiting on the medical exam to get done, right? I think that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm seeing with Tammy. And Julian, if you got any more questions on the affidavit of support, let me know, because I got all the recent documents right here. Crowned Queen, I have an update, Diego. We finally were able to get our case transferred to Sierra Leone, and now case is ready. Thank God. Well, thank everybody. Good job, Crowned Queen. You made it. Patience is the queen, right? You made it through it, because you were trying like the Dickens. You was trying like you had to move mountains to get that process completed, and now you did it. Congratulations. Good work. Good work. Let me see here. Marcel MP, we got the text message, but we haven't received the mail. We submitted my adjustment of status 2 weeks ago. Where'd you send it? Phoenix, Arizona, Elgin, Illinois, or Chicago? Marcel, where did it go? Remember when Karina applied for a green card, it was in the winter in Chicago. Okay, so they're busy. It's summer. It's spring and summer. Karina applied for a green card in the wintertime. There's not much going on in the wintertime, right? But when you get to spring and summer, it gets a little busier in immigration because people are trying to leave. That people are trying to get their kid. They wait for their kids to get out of school or whatever the case may be. It gets a little busier month by month. When Karina applied for her green card, there wasn't much going on in Chicago. Boom, she got her text message, and then within a week she had her biometrics. Okay, but remember, I'm military. I'm retired military, and Karina had a military. I got her a military ID, so she has a military ID, and that may have speeded up the process for her. It may have speeded up the process for her because I'm military. She has a military ID, and we sometimes get to the front of the line of stuff sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. That could be the reason. Marcel, okay, got it. Thanks, Diego. Karina should be receiving her green card at the end of this month. No, she'll probably get a green card at the end of July. She'll get her work permit in the next few days. Her work permit got approved after 46 days. It takes about 4 to 5 months to get a green card. So her green card should be here probably the end of July. Hopefully before that. Hopefully más temprano. Hopefully before that, but we don't get overly excited about this process. So we stay calm and we stay patient. So we probably figure for July, end of July, beginning of August. Tammy, that's correct, Diego. Yeah, you got your visa interview done. You're just on a medical hold right now, and you're about ready to get that wrapped up. And then that'll be all done. Then you're done. Then you'll get your K1. Caleb, the AIS, USCIS says you have to have instructions from the embassy before you can create an account and register. That's right. So I will wait for the email before I do anything. That's right, Caleb. It's the packet 3, packet 4 email. Okay, so now I know where you are in the process. I wasn't sure if you'd received that or you hadn't received it. You got to follow the directions in the packet 3, packet 4 email, which I got. I got a packet 3, packet 4 email from Bogota and the U.S. Embassy in Bogota. I clicked on the links. I followed the directions. I paid the visa fee. There was 1 day available left in November of 2023. I took the day I could get, and there was 1 appointment open for biometrics. I took that one too, and boom, here she is. Karina's right here. Terrence Tambigo. The embassy wrote to me today that I didn't respond to them, of which I did, and they're saying my fiancé visa application has been moved to termination status and will be abandoned if I fail to respond. So Terrence, here's the deal. Everybody who's watching this YouTube channel, this video, whatever, you must maintain contact with the embassy and or the National Visa Center. Once or twice a month, you got to send an email. Hey, I'm checking in. How's everybody? It's me. This is my receipt number. What's the status of my case? If you don't do that, if you don't maintain communication with the National Visa Center, with the U.S. Embassy, if they have your K1 visa, if they don't hear from you for 2 months, they're going to start closing out your K1 visa. They're going to say, no, they're not interested anymore, and they'll close it. It's very important. Remember, when you get your NOA2 letter, you read on the NOA2 letter is your beneficiary's alien number, her alien number, and also it says this NOA2 letter expires in between here and here. It's 4 months, right? It's 4 months in between. There's a termination date of 4 months on the NOA2 letter. So how do you keep the NOA2 letter from expiring? You got to send communication to the embassy. You got to send inquiries to the MVC. Send an email to the MVC, an inquiry. Hey, I'm checking in. What's going on with my case? They'll write back and tell you. It's at the embassy. Don't contact us. Okay, no problem. Print the email. You've made contact with immigration. Contact the embassy. It's me. Hey, I'm checking in. What's going on with my case? I'm checking in. The embassy will respond back to you. Well, we're busy right now. We don't have time. We don't have a space available or whatever their excuse is. But you print the email. You maintain contact with the embassy so they cannot close out your case. Karina's K1 visa interview was November 16th, 2023. Correction. Her NOA2 letter expired September 15th, 2023. So her K1 visa, her NOA2 letter had been expired for 2 months, but they kept extending it. Why? Because I kept in contact with the embassy and the National Visa Center. I sent inquiries to the MVC. I sent emails. What's going on? And they kept extending her NOA2 letter. Caleb, Mountain Dew, salute. Muy bien, muchas gracias, Diego y Karina. No problem. K Messenger, right. So that's from Caleb and K Messenger. Thank you, guys. We appreciate that. But I'm out. I don't have any Mountain Dew left. Okay. But so I'm going to have to do Mountain Dew salutes some other way. But thank you, Caleb and K Messenger, for that. We appreciate you guys. And we Karina and I, we go to Hardee's for the big breakfast, and in fact, just the day before yesterday, we had Hardee's on you guys. Thanks for the super chats paying for our breakfast. Tammy, that's correct. Diego, Terrence, you got to stay in contact with the immigration folks. Send them an email, apologize profusely, explain you didn't understand the process, and they won't close out your case. They will reopen your case, but you got to write them a nice email and tell them that you are still in the K-1 visa process. Please don't close my case. Okay, Terrence. Tokyo all cat agrees. Okay. Marcel MP Diego, can I fly within the U.S. while waiting on the green card? Absolutely. My passport has my maiden name. I changed my last name to my husband's last name. No problem. You can travel in America on your passport. Just don't leave America. Don't leave the United States. You can travel anywhere you want within the United States, but don't leave the United States. No, it's no problem. You can do that. It's no problem. Terrence, you better get off this live stream and send an email to the embassy and check in with them and apologize to them and tell them you're sorry you didn't know the process, but now you know what you got to do. K Messenger, I did exactly the same as you and Diego and Caleb. I took the first dates available, but could not do anything until my visa interview was scheduled by the consulate from Ciudad Juarez. It took first dates. There you go. I took whatever I could get. There was 1 day left in November of 2023. And I didn't care what day it was open. And I took the day and scheduled Karina's K-1 visa interview and her biometrics. I completely filled up November. We were the last ones. Kayla, Karina también, muchas gracias. Okay, Messenger, sometimes dates are not ideal, but prioritize to finish the process. Keep up with this show. Ask Diego anything. He really does care. And you too, Karina. Yeah, we want to see you get your visas, guys. We want to see you come to America, get married, start your lives together, and learn about, become American, become immersed in the United States, become an American. Okay? It's not an easy process leaving your country and starting a new life in America. It's not easy. You're leaving behind everything you know, and you're coming to a country you know nothing about unless you've done stuff, researched it on Google, and you got to become, you got to get used to this place. It's different, okay? You may not have been accustomed to the freedoms in your country that we have here. You may not be able to tell your government to go pack sand without fear of going to jail. Here you can tell the government to go pack sand, stick it where the sun don't shine, and you have a right to do that. Just don't threaten anybody. You can speak your mind here. Well, apparently President Trump is not allowed to speak his mind at the moment because they got some judge who's blocking his First Amendment rights to his freedom of expression. But that, Trump's going to fix all that very soon. Everything that goes around comes around. Okay. Now, this isn't a political channel. I don't like Republicans and I don't like Democrats. They're both they're politicians. I don't like politicians. Okay. But we got to deal with them just like we got to deal with taxes. I'm independent. I'm an independent conservative. Okay. I don't like paying taxes, but I pay them because I got to build a road, build a school, pay for the military, pay for Biden's vacations. Okay. I don't like paying taxes, but it's something you got to do. As a green card holder, you're going to have to pay taxes once you get to America. You got to file your taxes jointly with your American citizen sponsor. File your taxes together, because when you apply for the 10-year green card, immigration is going to want to see your tax returns. Guess what? Your name, Mr. Beneficiary, Miss Beneficiary, better be second under your sponsor's name on the tax returns. You cannot be filing joint of head of household. You cannot be filing single. You got to file married. When you file for U.S. citizenship, when you file for your 10-year green card, you got to prove, you got to show your tax returns. And Mr. Beneficiary, your name needs to be on those tax returns. When I file my taxes in April of 2025, Karina's name's going to be right there on the tax return. She's part of this deal. and that's going to be and she's going to start work here. As soon as she gets her work permit, she wants to go do something, so she's not bored at the house. She's going to do something, you know. Guess what? She's going to pay taxes on the income she makes. Guess what? She'll get a W-2 for our 2025 tax return. Guess what? That W-2 will be a part of my 1099, and then that information will be put in the tax return. Okay? Don't forget to pay your taxes, guys. Terrence, get off this live stream and go contact the embassy and fix that problem. And Caleb, thank you again, and K Messenger for that super chat. Well, that's a super sticker, isn't it? Caleb, Karina, también muchas gracias. K Messenger, sometimes dates are not ideal. When I couldn't care less what the date was for Karina's K1 visa interview in Bogota, Colombia. I didn't care if it was on a Sunday at 3 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be there. I didn't care if it was on July 4th, which it wouldn't be because the embassies are closed on July 4th because it's an American holiday. But you know what I'm saying? I don't care what the day was or the time. We're going to be there. If you schedule a visa interview, okay, and you start getting finicky, you start becoming finicky. Well, I can't go to my K1 visa interview on this day because I got an appointment with my chiropractor in Nairobi, and then I was going to go out and get my nails done. No, it ain't going to work that way. If you have a K1 visa interview and there's only one day available in the month, take the day and go to the interview. The mission here is to come to America and start your lives over and become Americanized and get married and become an American, right? That's the goal. Don't be, it's like, I don't know. Don't try to reschedule your visa interview. If you schedule your visa interview, don't try to reschedule it. Don't be joking around the immigration officers at the embassy. They don't like it. They don't like that. Anyway, guys, I've been talking for an hour and a half almost. Today is today's Wednesday, the 8th of May, 2024. We're going to go ahead and get something to eat, I think. 2 Tina's Amber? No? Okay. I'm not really. I'm thirsty. I'm kind of thirsty. And we'll be back on, what's today? Wednesday. So there's Thursday. So Saturday, right? Saturday's the next live stream. But I know you guys can't wait till Saturday for a live stream, so I'll probably jump on here again tomorrow or Friday. How about that? I'll come back again tomorrow or Friday and finish up the questions. K Messenger, Diego on SSBN. That's a Fleet Ballistic Missile Submarine. I do not recall ever being asked, does this work for you? Schedule. Say, when I was in the Navy, you're right, K Messenger. K Messenger served on a Fleet Ballistic Missile Submarine, okay? And you don't work around the Navy. You don't work around the Navy's schedule, okay? You do whatever the Navy tells you to do. The same is true with an immigration interview. An immigration officer, when an immigration officer tells you to jump, you ask how high, okay? You do what he says or she says. But once you get U.S. citizenship and you get your U.S. passport, you're done with immigration, right? You're done with it. No more crazy paperwork. And K Messenger is absolutely right at what he said. Francois Livingston, good night. Thank you for your continued dedication and support. Francois gets the last word. Francois will get her NOA 2 letter probably the next 10 days or so. And we'll see you guys Thursday or Friday, but definitely Saturday.